Okay, we've got a doozy here and we've got a nice big video to do. This is Decepticon, Motormaster, Dragstrip, Breakdown, Wild Rider, and Oil Slick. It's weird that Dead End isn't here. I'll probably build him at some point. I have no idea where I haven't built him, but for now we have Oil Slick as an arm. But a rebuild of this guy as a sort of reskin will be done eventually to properly do it. But Oil Slick works fine as well. Part of him just broke off. This is an older figure, and not my first combiner. You'll see my first combiner with Bruticus. It's really bad. There's no robot modes for the individual limbs or anything. With this guy, each section has their own robot mode. It's not all just sections that make up a bigger robot and do nothing else. Although there is also a lot of parts forming. We have like head, hands, feet, some stability pieces. Some pieces get moved around. Then we'll start with the leader of this group, Menasor. Not Menasor, fuck. The leader of the stunticons with fucking... It'll come to me eventually. Motormaster. So Motormaster here is a trailer connected to a cab. That's about it. It's standard flat nose cab with the purple around the two windows. Got purple and pink wheels. There's also a blue wheel on the other side. Just don't question it. He doesn't roll, despite the fact the wheels can rotate. They're not none of them are properly touching the ground. And there's plates and stuff underneath there. You can really kind of see the mess back here. You can tell it's one of my older figures. Comparing it to something like Shockwave, who is much more recent. You can tell with some of my older figures that they are older figures. With like all the gaps and shit. We'll get right into transforming this guy. So to start off with, we're just gonna come to the trailer here, take these missiles off. These are rocket boosters, I guess, but they're missiles for his robot mode. And we're just gonna fold the entire cab open, which basically reveals the entire robot mode. You've got the head there, the chest. And then gonna rotate these round. Like that. Do the same on the other side. Then we'll rotate it around. And then we're just gonna raise it up on the truck and then split the truck in half via a Technic pin that holds them together. And then we're just gonna, didn't really see that properly, but I ratcheted that backpack down, bring it back up to show it, and then it just ratchets down. Then the rockets can go on here, or even just on his shoulders. They can kind of go anywhere. I'll just leave them off to the side. And then he just kind of has for his weapon this sort of club that he can hold and do the usual for scale. Here's a human. And for a bit more scaling, we'll bring in another big guy. We'll bring in the Fallen. It was just completely collapsed out of nowhere. You can see the Fallen is a lot taller. And all the others are really small, being purely... If this was minifigure scale, I guess somewhat sort of deluxe class sized, but... These guys are all super small and easy to go over, so we'll move Menasor to the back. Starting with one of my personal favourites, Dragstrip here. So you get as close as possible to him. Dragstrip here is a little yellow F1 car sort of thing, got a little engine detail there. Got his Decepticon logo. Oh shit. Here's a nice spoiler, the big wheels at the back, the two little ones at the front, and a windshield. bringing him into scale with a little figure there. There's not much to his alt mode. If you look at the bottom, you can sort of see his transformation bits. But to transform him, we're going to start by taking the spoiler, sliding it apart like that, and then rotating those parts. Then gonna fold these side panels up like that over the wheels, and then rotate that entire assembly backwards. We're then gonna, this is where a little bit of part swimming comes in with this older design, just because there was no way to have this actually slide. You just kind of have to bring it a stud down, then separate the legs, then this whole back of the car is going to hinge down from where it was, revealing the head. And then we can rotate the arms out and up. And then the spoiler can kind of go however you want. I personally just kind of, for his robot mode, have it like that. And that will give us dragstrip in his robot mode. He's got a fun little guy. See, he's got his definition between his arms and legs there. Kind of looks like an old G1 toy, to be fair. Doesn't really have any feet that pop out or anything. Articulation-wise, he's got kind of just rotate back and forth with the arm. Same with the leg. He does actually have a waist swivel and an elbow bend. And the head can nod up and down. That's about it for him. We'll move him to the side and get into the other arm, Oil Slick. This is based off the Transformers animated character. And he's decently faithful. Right, we got the rear of the bike there. And the front. This wheel here as well. And of course the black animal skull and handlebars. As you can tell, he's not really to scale with a figure, but you can put a figure on there. And it can kind of look like a sort of big minifigure bike, but really it kind of scales more with deluxe figures and kind of works to look like a bike for them, sort of. We're getting into his transformation. He's quite a tall guy, actually. We're going to unfold the back of the bike. And then we're going to take this side panel. This is a real pain in the ass. We're going to rotate this piece out of the way. So it gives enough clearance to rotate that like that. And I'm going to rotate that to the sort of front. I've actually rotated that the wrong way. Okay, so you want to rotate that, and then that is going to rotate like that. Do the same on the other side. I'm just going to bring it off camera. Some of these are a real pain in the ass to transform on camera, so certain bits I will just kind of drag them off for, but I'll explain to the best of my ability what's going on. Okay, so now we've got that. You're going to then just split the front wheels. And then this animal skull is going to rotate like that off to the side. Then I'm going to take the handlebars and collapse them in. And then the actual handlebar itself will just swivel into the side like that. Do the same on the other side. Then we're going to rotate these boosters down. And split the legs. Same way as dragstrip. Hang on. Awkward jump cut aside. And then bring the arms, rotate them slightly and bring them down. Now we have Oil Slick, who is not going to stand on this background at all in his robot mode. Oh, we're going to stand. Move. Okay, he's just going to fucking lay down. For articulation, this guy's actually pretty good for a figure of his size. Bringing him in, showing off dragstrip. He's a little bit taller, but he's still what I would consider a deluxe. But he has a knee bend, as well as a forward and backwards at the hip, swivel at the waist. And then his arm has a backwards and forwards at the elbow, a swivel, or backwards and forwards at the shoulder, a swivel at the shoulder and or elbow, or a shoulder swivel though, and then backs and forwards at the elbow. For his weapon, he has his classic chain with a weird chemical thing on the end of it, which just studs onto his hand. And he has his Decepticon logo on his chest. And to represent the fact that his head is just kind of in a glass jar of, I don't know, piss, some sort of weird substance shit, just have a green piece there. So there's not really a face on him, but it's kind of just like an implied, like, there is a face in there. You just can't see it. He's got to pretend that there's a face in there. Getting onto the legs, we'll start with the much better looking Wild Rider. These guys are really shit. They're a retool of my old Sideswipe, who I dismantled because I hated him. So they are really flimsy. We'll have a look at the bottom there. He's just sort of this. There's also one bit of the windshield that isn't red, which is really annoying me. We've got a red rear windscreen as well. To transform him, we're going to start with bending the bonnet forwards like that, and then rotating these side panels down. Then it's going to break off, and I'm going to have to fix it. I'm also going to bend the rear of the car down and rotate the panels on the rear of the car outwards, and then rotate them. It's going to be really hard to show, but we're going to rotate it out that way to extend the legs. It really doesn't like doing it on camera though. And in fact, the leg just broke off. Problem is with these builds, they're kind of a pain in the ass because they rely a lot on stud tolerance and the tolerance of other pieces to sort of be good enough to work with how fragile they are in some spots. Problem is, I have like the worst luck with stud tolerance. So all of these are just awful and barely hold together. But as you can see, that forms his legs. They're going to take the arms and just going to rotate them up like that to get them out of the way. And then press the bonnet down to form the chest plate. And then it explodes off. Then the head is sort of resting in there. I'm just going to flip it up. And then I'm just going to bring the arms down. And then flip the hands out. One side is a knife. And then one side is an actual hand. Rotate his legs so they actually stand him. Then we have Wild Rider in his really stupid looking robot mode. I'll bring in Breakdown as well and do the same transformation. Breakdown is a lot close to how Sideswipe was, having the same sort of windshield build and everything. And these two don't really have rear wheels the way they're built. But I'm going to do him off screen, so he's literally the exact same transformation. So I'm going to just bring him off camera to do him. He's basically just falling apart anyway. The only real difference is he just has a spoiler, but you literally just rotate that into knee pads. And one of his legs has tolerance that bad where it joins Like the loot is so fucking loose, there's like just falls off constantly. So he just really isn't worth recording. He's got Wild Rider transformed up. He does also have a drill weapon. And his bonnet is just fucking broke. You can bring him in, and it's like there's the 2 leg bots. And of course we'll bring in one of the arm bots. I'm not going to try and stand oil slick anymore. But that is all of these stunticons separately. And I will do a different video to sort of show off the combining aspect of these guys. Gotta kind of go offset. Yeah, in another video I'll show off the combining and stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one.